I feel like right now it's well positioned with all the tempo decks. It's really aggressive, gets out quick. It has a lot of answers to some of the Delver decks. So it's right now, especially with the splashes I made, I think it's pretty well positioned and very aggressive. I'm Paul Casano and this is Goblins. The general strategy is you really want to come out with a Goblin Lackey first turn. I've increased this by adding the Chrome Mox and the Warren Instigators, because now I can play Goblin Lackey, a Warren Instigator, or Ether Vial first turn, and all are really good plays, allowing me to get card advantage by dropping creatures from my hand for free. Where the card advantage comes into play is Goblins runs Goblin Ringleader and Goblin Matron. Matron, when it comes into play, lets you search for a Goblin, put it in your hand. Ringleader lets you reveal the top 4 cards of your library. All Goblin cards come to your hand. It's also why it plays Tarfires as an aggro card, and it can clear the board of early blockers so you can get those cards through. Well, I'm going to run 6 fetches. Then I run 2 Badlands. I run 1 Plateau. That's the base part of the mana base, but also to supplement the mana base, I run 3 Chrome Moxes. Then I run 4 Cavern of Souls. It really gives you the reach against a lot of the control decks. It makes your Goblins uncounterable, and your sideboard humans can be made uncounterable as well. I also run 4 Wastelands as a good control base, and that's the land base. The only spells I really run in the deck are 3 Tarfires, which is a 1 red to do 2 damage, Tribal Instinct Goblin. That clears your blockers, and even in early games, you can use it to burn a player for the last couple points of damage if they don't have creatures. Then I have 4 Ether Vials and 1 Warren Weirding. 1 black, 1 colorless. Target player sacks a creature. If the creature sacrifice was a Goblin, you put 2 1/1 black Goblin Rogue creatures with haste into play. I can target myself and get a little aggressive, or I can target an opponent, especially somebody who's got show and tell. If they show and tell in, let's say I'm a Curl, I can even drop in a Goblin Matron tutor for the Warren Weirding, and when it comes to my turn, I can cast it and get that big nasty out of the way. It targets the player, not the creature, so you can get in there with it. I run 30 creatures, 4 Goblin Lackeys, which are pretty key, 4 Warren Instigators, which are just a backup to the Lackey. I run 4 Goblin Matrons, which is fetch a Goblin. It's pretty key to the way the deck gains card advantage, along with Goblin Ringleader, which is reveal the top 4, put all Goblin cards into your hand. I run 4 Goblin Chieftains, which is all Goblins get +1/+1 and gain haste. Very important in my opinion. A lot of people run the Reducer War Chief, which is, in my opinion, a little less valuable. You're really trying to force the free drops in. The +1/+1 in haste lets me play through Edging or Plague and lets me get the more aggro in. I run 3 Goblin Pile Drivers that get a +2/+0 for each other attacking Goblin. They're really my aggro heart. And then I run a decent amount of 1-ofs, Tuk Tuk Scrapper to remove artifacts from the game, the Skirk Prospector, the Lightning Crafter for my combo, along with Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker, a Sting Scourger, which is basically a Goblin with Unsummon on it. So you can play it and go ahead and bounce a show and tell creature and get in there. I also play a Goblin Settler, by far the most expensive creature card in the deck. It's a 1/1 from the starter series. I run 1-of, and I run a 1-of Grenzo Dungeon Warden, who's the new Goblin out of Conspiracy. He's a 2/2 when he enters the battlefield. If you spend 2 colorless mana on him, no tap symbol, so that's great. 2 colorless mana, you take the bottom card of your library, put it in your graveyard. If it's a creature with power less than his, it goes into play. So he's a really good add to racking those extra creatures out. My sideboard is designed to hit almost every deck. I run 2 Magnus in the Moons. It's a 2/2 creature for 3 mana. When it enters the battlefield, it acts just like a Blood Moon. When it comes into play, all non-basic lands become basic mountains. So against a deck like Bug Delver, I can make it uncounterable by either using my Cavern of Souls or my Ether Vial to put it into play. So they can't counter it, and when it enters the battlefield, then their mana base becomes all mountains. I also run Pyrokinesis, which is, instead of paying its casting cost, you remove a red card from the game. It does 4 damage, divided however you choose amongst 4 creatures. It's really good for wiping the board against elves, or Death and Taxes, or even a Delver deck. You can get in there and kind of remove, get get 2 or 3 creatures out of the way, clear a good path, and get in there. I run 3 Thalias. Thalia is awesome against combo decks. It makes all non-creature spells cost 1 more. I can also make it uncountable through the Cavern of Souls and Ether Vial. I run 2 Cabal Therapies. That's strictly for combo. Goblins has a lot of extra creatures, so I can flash it back very easy, and I can really wreck a hand with that. I run 4 Chalice of the Voids, which works well against like Rug Delver, anything that's reliant on Brainstorm and Ponder, and also combo decks and even High Tide. The deck requires a 1 mana drop. It's got to deal with that before it can get past. I also run a 2 count of Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace exiles all graveyards, and anything that goes to the graveyard from then on is exiled. So with a 2 count, I can handle decks like Manaless Dredge, Reanimator. It's really an excellent card. I run it as a 2-0. My best matchup is probably Miracles. Between the Cavern of Souls and having an uncountable creature set, I also have a very aggressive plan versus their not so aggressive plan. And it allows me to really get in there. I can resolve creatures quickly. I can free drop and get more aggro than they can handle. Their counter magic's kind of not very good. I also have a very good matchup against Merfolk. I have a little bit of a hard time with combo. My sideboard helps a lot with that. Bug Delver's a little bit tougher of a matchup for me too. They have a decent amount of removal. I like Goblins in general. They just have a funny theme, a funny feel. It's nice to be an aggressive control deck right now. I like the splashes. I like that you're able to really contort the deck to do what you want it to do. There's a number of cards that I don't play that are really good for the deck. You can make so many changes to the deck, and it's all in all, comparatively for Legacy, it's pretty inexpensive. So it's a real fun, not too hard to get into deck that you can enjoy different ways.